The following program is brought to you by Johnny's Radiator and More. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. We are more than a radiator shop. Come see what the more is all about. Brakes, alignments, suspension, shocks, struts, tires, lift kits, radiator, AC repair, oil change, water pumps, fuel pumps, and more. Don't forget, Johnny's has a full line of AC parts in stock for all heavy-duty makes and models, logging, farming, construction, and heavy-duty trucks. AC parts specialist with over 35 years experience. Call 870-226-5000 to get an estimate or make an appointment today.
Well, Coach, good to be back with you. Big win last Friday night against Central of West Helena. Just your general thoughts on the performance, especially coming off of a loss the week before.
Yeah, I thought we came out and played very well early, which helped, especially against a good Helena team, and really took momentum. I think we scored in like 3 or 4 plays, and they turned the ball over and were able to score again. So we jumped up 14-0, and then we ended up getting up like 48-12 at halftime, and invoked the mercy rule, which is always good. But credit to Helena, they didn't quit. I thought they're very, very athletic, and they just turned the ball over the other night, and then we were really clicking on offense. I thought offensively when we're clicking, we're really good. We've talked about that, and I thought we were the other night.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. A really big night for both Jackson and your whole receiving corps. I think a record-setting night for Jackson as well. Going over 3,000 yards, I think, on the year or something like that. What's happening? What are they doing right now? What's clicking?
Well, I didn't know that was a record. So I guess the question kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But we're having to play a lot. We're not, our run game's not where it needs to be. Jackson's doing a really good job. I thought they played a lot of man the other night. Press man, and I knew that we were going to have some opportunities to hit some deep balls, and we were able to do that. But we've talked about Jackson. Jackson is much improved from 2 years ago. He's getting better every Friday night this year. We got 3 receivers that's right at 1,000 yards. I think JoJo, Blaze, and Tayshawn, and then Ren. He had a good night the other night, but we've had some really good offenses in the past. And it's taken. I think that here. It's just that we're having to play more, honestly, and now we're putting up more numbers than we have in the past as far as stats. But as far as Jackson is getting better. Our receiving corps are getting better. But we got to continue to do that. We got to be more consistent. We're not really big in numbers, honestly. We never have been here. We're big in wins. I think that. That we're getting better, and we got to get better on defense to be able to do that. And because honestly, if you look at it back over the years, go back to even Reed McKinney, we could have set a lot of records. It's just that's nothing that's really important to our kids. Our kids want to put themselves in a situation to play for a long time and win football games, and then other stuff will take care of itself. But we got to continue to be consistent. I think that to go back to answer your question, we need all 4 wide receivers and our run game to be good going forward. We need to be able to be very balanced. I think that nights that we got to throw the football, we're going to throw first. There's no doubt about that. We got to be able to do that. But when we need to run the football, we got to be able to do that.
Well, let's move over to the defensive side of the ball. Pretty good night. What positives did you see on that side?
We're better against the run. I would say that. I think Zay Miller helped us a lot getting him back. He's just out of shape right now, but he's helped us against the run some. If you look at it, he hit us right before half on a long pass. Other than that, I thought defensively we played really well with our first group. We got to continue to get better over there. We're playing a spread team with CrossIt Thursday night who likes to throw the ball all over the place, and he's got a very mobile quarterback. And then going forward in the playoffs, really don't know what we're going to get yet, but. If we're consistent on offense, we can play with anybody. Our biggest question mark is can we keep getting better on defense? Can we put ourselves in a situation to play for a while?
Just quickly, Jacarlos knocked through a 25-yard field goal in the third. I know that's not something you're going to probably be doing often, but is that just another weapon that you can utilize?
we want him to kick some field goals, you know, because you never know when you're going to need it. And the onside kick that we kicked, you know, I thought against Stuttgart he did a really good job. We're probably a half a yard short on that, or we could do an onside kick, and we did it the other night to practice it. You know, not that we wanted to get that. We're glad we did get it, but it wasn't something that we needed. And the same way with the field goal. He needs confidence in being able to go out there and knock one down and make it. And you know, we had a couple against. I know we had one against Monticello. I don't know if we had two or not, but we had one he didn't make. But yeah, that was the first time. And so, you know, anytime we get an opportunity to go out there and kick one, every time he gets to do that, he's going to gain some confidence.
Also wanted to ask you, Tucker McDermott, I think, recovered a fumble to set up that field goal. He's been a kid I've seen on special teams, just some defensively. It's just kind of all over the field. Can you talk about Tucker?
Yeah, we love Tucker. Tucker plays hard. He plays extremely hard. He's just so little. And, you know, we let Tucker kind of do what, like Tucker's on kickoff team. He holds for us on extra points. He gives us 110% every time he's out there. It's a situation where against spread teams he can play more. You know, against, you know, line up and run the football at us, it's going to be harder for him to play. He knows that. I mean, he understands what his limitations are, and as long as they don't know where he's at, he's really good. And I think he's going to help us a lot going forward. He's one of them guys that he's a high energy guy. The kids love him, and they love him making plays, and he's fun to coach.
Short week this week, headed across it, back on the road, regular season finale. They've struggled this year, obviously. What do you need to do, though, to finish this schedule out strong?
You know, we got to be consistent. You know, we come in Sunday night, we kept the routines the same, you know, but we got to be consistent on both sides. Offensively, we need to keep doing what we're doing, but we don't need to have a turnover. Like it seems like that. Like last Thursday night, we had no turnovers except for late. You know, when our JVs went in and did it, but. We can't turn the ball over in a big ball game, and that's something that we gotta really concentrate on. And then defensively, I think that we're doing some things with Zay Miller, and we're able to move some guys back around when we got him back. And so it's really like the third week again, you know, defensively. Like, you know, the first week was Stuttgart, where we get him back, we moved Lewis Woods to wheel linebacker, and then we moved, you know, last week we moved Braxton back to defensive end. You know, so we're moving some guys back to where, you know, they played last year, or that we're getting more comfortable where we're at, and hopefully, you know, I think Zach being back at linebacker now, I think we're doing some things that if we can just keep getting better and take advantage of what we're doing. And I'm anxious for tomorrow night to see if it's any better, because we're going to see a similar offense to Stuttgart, where the quarterback don't want to stay in the pocket, and that's so hard. You know, when you get a quarterback who don't want to stay in the pocket, he wants to move around, and you got to cover forever, and you can't ask your D-backs to do that. So your linebackers, you got to be really involved in going and making him make a decision. I thought we didn't do a very good job of that against Stuttgart, because he would move around. The one would go get him. They would throw it where he left from. And our linebackers didn't do a good job of rotating over. So, you know, hopefully we're better this week. We're going to find out, because, you know, their quarterback does the same thing. He don't want to sit in the pocket and throw the football. He wants to scramble around and get open routes. Well, that's tough. That's tough, especially on your linebackers. And, you know, hopefully our plan is a little bit better. Hopefully we got, you know, more second level players, so to say, at linebacker, and then we're just going to send one to get him and hope we can do that.
Well, Coach, best of luck. Thursday night, remind all fans, Thursday night is the regular season finale. Thank you, Coach, for your time.
All right, thank you.